Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the middle of September 2021. Cancer, we are just going to jump right in here. I'm going to do a Celtic cross again, and we're just going to see what comes up for you here, Cancer, for the rest of the month. And Cancer, it already looks pretty good, is what I would say to you. I don't like this Nine of Swords here, if I'm being honest, but we are going to clarify and see what is going on for you. Yeah, this reading gives me the vibes that like things are actually much better than you think here, Cancer. I would say, as I always say with the Nine of Swords, no stinking thinking, right? The Nine of Swords is a card where you could be stuck in a nightmare. You're waking up and you're still in a nightmare. But, he has this blanket on his body, and the blanket is meant to represent comfort. And it says that, you can find your way out of any situation. You can comfort yourself as well. It can also say that you just need to, get out of your head. Nine of Swords is like my card that says you have the choice between being the bug or the windshield. And, I always say choose the windshield, right? You start off your reading with your current energy. You have the Knight of Wands. Very spontaneous energy. I do get a little bit of a restless vibe off of this card for the most part, and a little bit kind of I'll tell you what, I am major Butterfingers today here, Cancer. I cannot hold on to cards for some reason, but what I would say here is that I do feel like there's an energy here of needing to focus in your reading. This looks a little scary, but again, your outcome is actually very positive. I wouldn't worry too much about, all this right here. There's some pretty good cards here. So I do feel you need to focus. This feels a little bit, I feel a little bit discombobulated. I feel a little bit more of that chaos side of the Knight of Wands. He doesn't really represent chaos, but he can be a little bit almost too indecisive, a little bit too maybe spontaneous on the wrong side of the scale with the Knight of Wands, and I kind of get that feeling here. Even with your crossing energy here, your crossing energy is the Eight of Pentacles. So I do feel that for some of you, focus or knowing what to focus on could be a little bit of a challenge. Honestly, wouldn't even worry about it because you have the Page of Pentacles right here. He is very focused on one pentacle. He knows what he's working on, Cancer. So I feel for some of you, this is kind of saying that the crossing energy, there could be some fears about where to put your energy, right? With the Eight of Pentacles. If you want love, you could be fearing giving your energy to a person because maybe they'll hurt you or maybe they'll, cause all this right here. Maybe you're fearing starting a business or putting your energy into something because what if you're wrong, right? Plain and simple. So I feel this is pretty straightforward energy. I feel actually in the area of your thoughts here, you have the Ten of Cups. So it's your thoughts are in the right place. I feel like you're thinking of joy. If you're wanting love, you could be thinking of having a happy home, having a happy family. Even if you don't want a family, you could just be thinking of the joy that a relationship could bring to you. Same thing in work or business or career. I think that you are thinking about how to create this happiness. Ten of Cups is also fortune after difficulty as well. And, to me, it can represent things getting better after a difficult period of time. So I feel like that's almost what you're hoping for. You're hoping for that freedom, that celebration. And you have the Nine of Swords here at your foundation. And, the funny thing is, this position here is what is supporting you. And you might be saying, how could the Nine of Swords be supporting me? What I will say to you, Cancer, is, really, I feel like sometimes big challenges attract big solutions, right? Esther Hicks, one of my favorite people of all time, Abraham Hicks, whatever you want to call it, talks about how sometimes having a big issue is actually a good thing because it attracts a much bigger solution. I've seen it happen in my own life. So, I feel for some of you, you might be dealing with some big challenges, but the Nine of Swords does ask us to face our challenges. It asks us to not just sit here and cry. It asks us to do something about the challenges that we could be facing. And if we do that, then we can attract some pretty big solutions to the problems that we're dealing with. And that's kind of what I feel for you here. I do feel that, again, again, this is what is supporting you here in the reading. And again, Nine of Swords, negative card, but, we have to take it into context based off of its position. And so I feel that sometimes also the Nine of Swords, in a supportive position could be saying I don't want to live like this anymore. Sometimes when we make a decision that we just don't want to live in misery anymore, then we don't. Then we, create something better. In the area of your past here, You have the Fool. The Fool could be a little foolish. Maybe you feel like you were foolish in the past or made some foolish decisions. I am noticing the dog. It's like this position, the Fool, is going more towards the past here in the reading. And this dog here is nipping at his heels. I almost feel like it's kind of drawing you this way in the reading. That's just how I feel intuitively. So I feel for some of you, you're actually being pulled in the right direction. I also feel like you're like far more prepared here. This is in the area of the next few months. You have, or I'm sorry, the near future. You have the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is really good energy because it's an energy of learning. He has learned because he has that sack on his back here, Cancer. And so he has learned how to, deal with problems. He has learned everything he needs to learn to start a new journey or to start over. And I still feel there's like more learning to do. Page of Pentacles is a card of learning, but at the same time, I feel like you're kind of like ready to move forward here. I do also feel that this could be love coming in for you. So I do feel that there could be new love coming in. In the area of the next few months, you do have the Tower. Pisces also had the Tower, not in the same position, somewhere else. I think crossing them. It is interesting. If you have Pisces in your chart, I would definitely watch that reading. The Tower to me is just a transformation. The other thing is I have a rule. To me, when you get the Judgment card and the Tower in a reading together, to me this represents a major revelation, a major realization, a major wake-up call. Could it lead to upheaval? Could it lead to a shakeup in your life? Absolutely. But usually with the Judgment card, this is something that is positive as long as you undergo the transformation. And what I mean by that is as long as you I can't get cards today, like I said, as long as you step out of the coffin. They are still standing in the coffins here on the Judgment card. It's like they're still holding on to their old life. And if we look at these last cards here, they all kind of represent needing to look at things differently or needing to turn around with the Five of Cups. So I feel like as long as you undergo the transformation or allow a transformation or transition to happen, it will probably be a good thing with the Tower. And again, we're going to clarify in a minute and just look into this a little bit more. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is a card of feeling left out in the cold, so some of you could be feeling left out in your closest relationships. Again, you're not watching. I like to remind people as well, tarot doesn't control your life. You do, and you create your own reality. So the Five of Pentacles says, yeah, maybe you're feeling left out in the cold, but there's something you can do about that. I get a lot of comments that where I'm just like, yeah, but you have full control over what you just left a comment on. Like, if you get the Five of Pentacles, people are like, oh no, my life is over. I'm always like, no, you're watching tarot because this hasn't happened yet, and you can take control of this situation. So Five of Pentacles says if you're feeling left out in the cold in relationships, do not call attention to your weaknesses, right? It says there is a place of sanctuary. There is a place you could go. There is a church right here. Some people say it's a house, but they could just easily walk inside. So I feel like for some of you, working on relationships, building relationships, networking, talking to your friends, things like that, maybe you're just feeling alienated because of the energy, right? There is some weird energy at the end of the year here. And what I would say is maybe it's causing you to feel more isolated or whatever. I feel like this card is just saying you could be feeling those feelings, and those are legitimate feelings, but all you have to do is open up. All you have to do is talk to someone, right? So don't be afraid to open up is what I feel like that is saying. Here in the area of your future feelings, you have the Five of Cups here. I definitely feel there's like this energy. You could be at this time of your life where you feel like things are not going your way. He's crying over these cups here, but he needs to be grateful for what he has and he needs to turn around and see these two cups, because then he'll get this bridge that leads to the castle on the card. I always say you don't get just two cups with the Five of Cups. You get the bridge and the castle. So I feel for some of you, you need to kind of look at what you do have at this time, and I feel like that will lead to a lot of abundance and happiness. Even your outcome is the Judgment card. So I feel like you're going through a transformation or a transition. I mean, the sadness here, I don't think you're going to be sad, Cancer. You could just be having certain feelings. But again, you're watching tarot so that you can fix this, right? And with the Five of Pentacles, I get this like weird feeling of like feeling like people don't want to be around you or something. I would just use your mouth, use your words, because I feel like you'll find out some of the feelings that you're having are just not true. It's just maybe we all go through these times, right? Where it's like maybe we feel weird. It's happened to me, right? With people, with friends, things like that, where I'm like, oh, do they hate me? Like, what's going on here? I think if you just use your words, it's like you'll clear things up very quickly. I do feel like there's a strong need here in this right here with this like L of energy, this backwards L, right? I feel like it's kind of saying, do not make stories up in your head. Go straight to the source in any area of your life. But major revelation. I feel like you're having a major wake-up call here. We're going to clarify some of this so we can figure out what this revelation for you is here, Cancer. I want to clarify your foundation here. Yeah, you have the Five of Swords. Definitely ask people for help. 555. Didn't this happen to you recently? That's pretty crazy. I think in one of your recent readings, you had 555 in your reading, so that might be an important number for you here, Cancer. I don't think I've ever had that happen before. Where it's like 2 readings have had 3 5s. That's pretty nuts. But I feel like the Five of Swords is asking you to open up to the assistance of other people, to allow other people to help you. That will probably increase your foundation. With the Tower here, you have the Seven of Swords. Yeah, Seven of Swords, a lot of people read Seven of Swords as like lying, cheating, stealing, which it can represent. I would definitely with the Tower, to me, this doesn't say that something bad is going to happen, but it does say like pay attention. But he is like trying to, the Seven of Swords is kind of like more of a card of needing to like make yourself lucky. He is weakening something back here. He is weakening this army by stealing these swords from them, right? But he needs to do it delicately. He's holding these swords by their tips. I don't recommend it. Don't touch tips with swords here, Cancer. But what I would say here also is that I feel like the Seven of Swords kind of represents being a lone wolf. The Seven of Swords, the advice that we get is to get help from other people. The Seven of Swords says there might be people or there might be information like online that you could do. If you're going through something, there is a way out. The Seven of Swords is about finding a way out through research, the help of other people, whatever you can do. So that's what I would do there. Seven of Swords, he also has these polka dots on his shirt. Polka dots in the tarot represent taking something too seriously as well. So it can say, try not to be too serious about something that's going on in your life. With the Five of Pentacles here, you have the Star, so definitely like a wish coming in for you here, and in the area of your close relationships. It might be a really good time as well with the Star for you to heal any relationships that you are undergoing in your life. I like getting the Star after the Tower because it does represent healing from that. Here in your future feelings, you have the Three of Cups. Again, more about people helping you. Three Cups is a card of a celebration, happiness, but it's a card of community, leaning on people in your life that can help you, that can make you feel better, that can do all of those things for you here, Cancer. So I do feel like, having people would be a good idea at this time. And finally, with the Judgment card, you have the King of Pentacles. Things getting more stable in your life. I feel like there's more stability. I still don't see, I'm going to pull extra cards here, Cancer, because I want to know more about, like, what is this wake-up call, this revelation that you could be experiencing? You have the Knight of Swords. It's something that's going to change your direction in life, where here, Hermit, you've gone through a dark night of the soul here. And the Knight of Pentacles. Still not very clear. Sometimes I think, we're not meant to know something right away, is what I would say to you, Cancer. So I would say that the wake-up call you could be experiencing, it has to do with your direction in life, but there's still a lack of clarity because, on the Knight of Pentacles, the fields in the background are empty, and it kind of says, like, more work needs to be done. So not exactly a clear answer, I know, but I do feel like you're having some sort of revelation or wake-up call, probably as far as your direction in your life is concerned. It could have to do with work for a lot of you, especially, Knight of Pentacles here. Some of you are changing direction in work or business. You could be realizing that something isn't as protected with the Tower, or maybe you're realizing something isn't as secure as you thought it would be as far as work or career or business is concerned. And so you're probably looking to create more security with that King of Pentacles. Same thing in relationships as well. Sometimes I think, something like this could say that maybe we see something in a relationship that makes us like, wow, this really isn't that secure. Like maybe someone surprises you or someone has shocked you in the past here with the Fool. That's kind of like what I'm feeling here, Cancer, is in a lot of ways. I feel like maybe someone shocked you where you trusted someone, and the shock is they did something to you that maybe you thought they would never do. So it kind of like really shook your foundation. And it's like the King of Pentacles can be a card of a foundation. So a lot of you could be trying to like rebuild your foundations as far as love is concerned here. I'm noticing the difference between the Ten of Cups and the Nine of Swords. It's like you're trying to, it's like you want this. I feel like you know this exists, Ten of Cups, but it's like maybe you're doubting it as well. So that's what I have for you here, Cancer. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.